Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the program Woman to Woman. I'm at Disuwal Sawage, the Adorable. Today on Woman to Woman, we want to know your take on indecent dressing. How do you feel when that beautiful girl seated beside you in church or in any other place of worship is dressing in such a way that you're not concentrating on what the preacher is talking about? You're not concentrating on what any other person is saying. You're getting so distracted because of this beautiful girl whose waist beads is showing, whose bottle, some part of her bottle is showing, her breast and every other thing is like, take me, take me, take me, that kind of a thing. When everything will be screaming, yeah, I'm here. How do you feel? And as a woman, what comes to your mind when you see a girl who is so indecently dressed in a place of worship? Does it not give you cold? Particularly those women who are not of this generation, those women who were born like sometimes like generation of our mothers now and some of us. How do you feel? So I have two beautiful women in the house. Luckily for me, they go to places of worship, they even sing, and they do quite a number of things there, and they see all of these, and I don't know if they are ushers too. So let me quickly introduce them to you, and then we'll come and talk about indecent dressing, how they see it. Maybe they like it, I don't know, because this generation now is only the Almighty that will help us. So seated beside me is Nyeka Ogbebo. She's a chorister, she's a choir mistress, she's also a counselor. She has special interest in young people, young adults, and those who are newly married. When you marry, the first few years is usually not so rosy because you guys are trying to understand yourself. So if you have that kind of an issue, Yeka would always step in for you. So Yeka, happy to have you join us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're looking good, like a counselor that you are. Okay, my runaway friend, Didi Lawrence Ekpeyong, who is also a chorister, a poet, a counselor. She enjoys counseling young persons too, particularly if you're having difficulties in your marriage. She's the right person to speak with. So ladies, a pleasure to have you join me today on Woman to Woman. Indecent dressing, right in front of you, on your plate. Yeka, let me throw that to you. What is indecent dressing by your own definition?
I would term indecent dressing as any mode of dressing that makes the person sitting next to you uncomfortable or cringe, that exposes certain parts of your body which should be kept hidden for private consumption.
Particularly in the place of worship.
Indecent dressing in the place of worship is a new canker
Okay.
that I have special interest in. Like when I saw the topic, I was like, oh, this is something we need to be talking about, especially in this time.
Okay.
It's becoming a menace.
Okay, Didi, define for me indecent dressing.
When you, I'm going to take it culturally. When you grow up in a place and you're being integrated about how you should comport yourself, the way you dress, the way you speak, and you choose to do otherwise, expose your body parts, dress to be noticed, or dress to embarrass other people and yourself, because when you're not well dressed, of course, you become an embarrassment. So indecent dressing is about not showing the people that you're well integrated culturally. You're not having any form of morals. You didn't grow up from a home. Because if you did, you won't come out exposing all your cleavage and exposing your tummy, wearing all those crop tops that expose your yellow tummy, and you feel
Yellow tummy, even black tummy.
black tummy too. So anything not acceptable when you come out. You know, the funny thing about this is that once you're well dressed and you're facing your mirror, you know you're well dressed. And when you're indecently dressed and you're in front of your mirror, of course, you're going to know that you're not well dressed.
Are you
So
sure they have a mirror? Are you sure they can see what's in the mirror?
even if you don't have a mirror, there should be somebody, or even if there's nobody to tell you that what the way you're dressed is not okay. I mean, even you, your conscience will be ministering to you that, man, what you're wearing is not okay. It's just that maybe you just want to be stubborn, and due to some factors, you want to go out that way. Maybe we'll look at those factors later.
Yeah, can you think these girls who dress this way have conscience?
They
You also
do.
think they grew up from a home.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Okay, so I kind of share a different opinion with her when it comes. I seriously believe that. I honestly believe that some persons do not know they are dressed indecently.
A percentage of
Yeah. It might be a minute percentage, but some persons do not know.
That they are
Like
dressed
a young lady
indecently.
is growing up, and all you have known is your mom puts on bomb shirts, and that's what she wears on you. You know, as a child, your mom dresses you up, and that's all you've ever known. You would think ordinarily that that's the right way to dress, and that child continues that way. Yeah, there are also some persons that's all they've seen on the elderly women in their family, so they grow up thinking that this is the way a lady should naturally dress.
Okay.
So sometimes it's just out of ignorance.
And ignorance is not an excuse in law.
No.
Now, let's look at it this way. I took my time for like 4 Sundays I didn't go to any particular church. I didn't go to any particular place of worship. But when you're driving, like we have
Yeah.
proliferation of places of worship in this town. Not just this town, in Nigeria. On the street, you can find like 10 places of worship, regardless of the size. It's a place of worship. People will drum, people will
Yeah.
make noise. I've seen people worship in a store,
Yeah.
a
Yes, of
small
course.
shop. I've seen people worship under a tent, small place, and there's maybe 3 or 4 persons, and you see somebody drumming and all of that. We are worshiping wherever 2 or 3 are gathered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's okay. Now, I took my time for like 4 Sundays to watch those who are going into their place of worship, and then during closing, those who are coming out of different places of worship, and you begin to wonder, in this church, is there a pastor there? Is there a man of God? Is that man of God's, does he have blood in his vein or water? And then you see, there was this particular one I saw, and I felt sorry for her parents. She wore a palazzo pants, all right? Palazzo is supposed to be big, but it was as transparent as a cellophane bag. That kind of cellophane, the white cellophane that we buy things with in the market. You want to buy some kind of pepper, they just put in those white cellophane. The palazzo was like that, and she was wearing a G-string. You can see everything she wore. And then this girl was walking out of a place of worship. And then let me use what we see on the street, what really offed me, was the fact that she was holding the Holy Book with that way of dressing. And I was like, how do people cope with this kind of girls in a place of worship?
Okay, maybe it's the circumstance of she's not really a okay, I'm talking about the church now. That person might be a first timer. That person might have could be someone who's not really regenerated, because when we say someone is born again, there's a regeneration from the inside out. Or that person might be going through that process. I like to leave room for grace. As much as where it really irks me is when I know that this person has been in church for quite a while.
Like this particular girl, we cannot say for sure if it's her first time or if that is the norm there. But you know that there are some places of worship in this town. Let's not deceive ourselves, where girls can just go there the way they want, in midi skirt, not just mini, in midi skirts, in shorts, with canvas and all of that, as if they're going to the stadium to go and run or to go and do something. They just dress the way they think is okay, because it is not how you dress that is important. It is what is in your heart. It is what you carry in your heart that is okay. I don't know where they got that from.
It's about the church allowing them to come in the way they are.
Yeah.
They are allowed to come in the way they are.
Probably
When they
because
come, they are taught. how it should be. Because if you want to start selecting, you're going to chase them away. So you allow them to come in. Like there are churches that have foundational class. When they come in, they are taught on varied topics, and
Things that are expected of
you
you.
know things are expected of you as a now that you're born again, now that you're a Christian. There are certain norms, there are certain ways of living you're supposed to imbibe, and these are taught to them in that class. Then over time, that lady you saw wearing a mini skirt, by the time we come, she's wearing something really decent. So we can't actually really judge by just driving by and
Is it
seeing
you
them
people are talking like
come in and
pastor
come
and
out.
pastoresses now, if I may say so?
No, because that
You
is
people are
what
talking like pastors now.
that
What I'm asking is, when a girl dresses like that to church, what do you think about it? And now you are building excuses for.
no, it's not an. I'm just telling you the way it
excuses.
is.
Yes, we're giving reasons why some
Why
churches
they are allowed to
allow
come in.
such. Yes.
Allow them to come.
Yes,
in
they are
and-
allowed to
like
come
that,
in like
yes.
that. Because when they come, they call for first timers.
Yeah.
And they come out and you see them like that, and they are handed over to a minister who is going to
follows up
handle
with
that
them.
with them. So you can't stand by the gate and chase them. No.
You could have a prostitute who has just finished her night runs and all of a sudden feels like, I'm tired of this life. I want something more than this. And just the way she is, she walks into the church. If you chase that person out, you are denying the person a chance at change.
So for 4 Sundays, I did my little survey, and it was all forms of.
While I get
dressing.
what you're saying, because I have also, look, like I said, it's something that worries me in church. It's something that's very dear to me. So while you can't always control, because I don't subscribe to asking people to leave because of certain ways they are dressed,
Okay.
but I think things can be done about it. While I do not subscribe to embarrassment also, like they're wearing trouser tie wrapper and stuff, well, I think maybe there could be sessions in the church where you put those people so they don't be a distraction to some others who
members.
have, yes, because it could be, you know, a church is like a hospital. You have different kinds of persons. There are some men who are not so strong. You know, they are fighting their demons, and then they believe that coming into church will help them. And then you are bringing, yeah, she understands. So it's a lot of challenge. So that's why there should be a balance. So that's where I think, like, I really love for the pastors' wives to step up to this particular, it's becoming a canker one. We need to address it. Look, I've been in situations where in church I see someone dressed a certain way and I lovingly, it's just about the manner of approach. I give you a hug, how you doing? Oh, good to have you in church today. You're looking very fine. I take your hand and then I walk you to somewhere quiet and I lovingly talk to you about what you're wearing. If you bring awareness to the person that you are a princess, you are not supposed to dress anyhow. There are certain parts of your body, whether culturally or, I know that in some stems in Africa and some cultures, it's okay for ladies to be topless or something. But when it comes to that, you know that that's their culture. It doesn't really do anything to them. But because it's something they live with every day, that's their normal. But over here, that's not our normal. I don't think there's any tribe or culture where they encourage women to, you know, leave themselves, you know, just dress very frivolously. So that's where it comes in. Where you have a mom, you have a dad. You know, when you value yourself, you attract the right persons to you. When they say dress the way you want to be addressed, it's not totally a lie. It's not. So that's the way you get them. It's not by judging them. It's not. You don't win by being rude or judgmental to people. Love always wins. When you lovingly nudge them in the right direction, you see that sometimes some of these people do not even know they're doing wrong, you know, and you can help them by, sometimes you can help them by saying, oh, you know, can we go shopping together? These are little things, and you find that these people, a lot of times they are willing to change. They just do not know how to start going about it.
Okay, now let's put the searchlight on the guys. Now you find a lot of young men these days. Okay, I happen to be somewhere where a young man was sitting beside me in a place of worship. He had his earrings on both ears, and then he had a face cap on in church, and then he had this sleeveless, undermining the fact that the body odor was killing everybody, but he had this sleeveless, and then there's baggy pants and all of that, and he was in church. I'm not trying to be judgmental now. Do you consider that decent?
That you can tell that that particular child is going through some form of peer pressure. There is something about them thinking that those with the piercings, those with those kind of outfits with
the cool
earrings, they are the cool ones. They are the ones that people love. They are, so they
You're even demonstrating like
they are the ones that people, they feel those people are popular. They are people like tend to be close to them, friendly with them, and they want to belong. And as she said, if there's no proper counseling, or maybe parents at home telling them that you don't have to dress that way to be accepted.
And it starts from creating awareness
from when they are from home. Yeah, from when they are small.
Yes.
So if they didn't have that from home, and they are growing up to come to school and they are seeing everybody, they are like, I mean, nobody wants to be in a that's why you see in our schools now, we have dress codes. Come with your official outfits. Don't just dress anyhow. Baggy jeans, torn jeans, they are not acceptable anymore. Haircuts, we give them codes, dress codes on how to. Yes,
some higher institutions.
It's almost like telling them this is your uniform in this university. Because if they failed to teach you at home,
let's teach you
how to. So it's not late. You are still under us. We are going to.
Now let's look at the involvement of parents in all of this. I've actually seen parents shop for some kind of crazy clothes for their kids. Christmas was just a few months ago, and you need to see what parents were buying for their children. I was in a shop. I like to talk from what I see, talk from experience, and from what people really talk to me about. And you see what parents were buying for their children. You begin to wonder, is this parent normal? This mama gets sense, that kind of a thing. But of course, you can't talk to that kind of a mother. I won't talk to such a mother in a place like that, because I don't have strength to fight. Maybe I should go and start learning karate now or something, so that I will start challenging this woman. No, you need to see what the woman was. There were good clothes in that shop. Why did you choose to buy ripped jeans, very rugged ripped jeans?
So the parent got it wrong and is transferring it to the children.
But that's but that's what is in vogue. That's what the woman wants. The kids were not even talking now. It's the woman that say, that jeans we go tear here, where they rain now. Now I want. And
it's also peer pressure. They want to sing like the cool mom. Especially this generation of mothers, young mothers in this generation.
And they wear those things.
They are the mothers that now they want to belong to the Gen Z. They are the mothers that are now wearing bomb shorts.
Yeah. And you encourage us to wear bomb shorts.
They are the that are now moms.
So what do you expect?
So you have a dress code in your school. I went to a university somewhere to see a friend who was doing something, and and I saw some people white and blue. I just know that I used to see only law students wear black and white.
It's now almost like every faculty.
I remember those days I used to wear black and white to Uniben. It's like Uniben choir, that kind of thing, Now I see some with blue trousers, long trousers, and blue long tops. Some with shirts and all of that, all looking decent. Now, what's the dress code to church?
Dress code to church is what is not exposing any part of your body in a rude way, what will not cause a distraction to the next person sitting close to you, what is not too flamboyant, what is not too, just something that will not take people's attention from the reason they came to church. Because you could actually dress fine and you feel you are covered, but you are extravagant and it's too much.
And you're like this,
and
you're like this, you're cursing, you're uncursing, you're, oh my word, it's usually very funny.
You know, I always tell people, when you're going to church, just see it like you're going to the palace to visit a king. There are dress codes. You would not, a king, I'm going to, you would want to look your best because you don't want to offend the king. So that's the way you should think about it when you're picking out outfits to go to church. God is the King of all kings. I'm not ashamed or afraid to say that. So if you can take out time to think of what you'd wear that's appropriate to see the earthly king, then you should do much more.
You know, we see quite a number of things on social media. We see videos of people in church. We see videos of supposed men of God and women of God. We've seen them. We've seen videos of them, and even the way some of them dress leaves a lot to be desired. What do you think such a person would want to talk about dress code?
Not really. I don't think so. But there could be people in church who have a burden for these things and would want to talk about it.
So that the worshippers can run away. You will not get your tithe complete. You will not get your offering complete. No, because if you talk to them, they leave. I'll go to another church. There are so many churches ready to accept them.
I think it's about the way you go about doing it.
Man of approach.
No, because they tell you that it's not about what you wear. It's not your outward look.
No,
it's not what people see.
No,
it's what is in you. It's what is in you. Like some will say, when we talked about sex before marriage and all of that, somebody was talking to me outside the studio that no, it is not what goes into a man that defileth the man. But why did they turn Bible upside down sometimes? Why do they do that? You're Christians, you're quite very religious, so why did they do that? Why did they misinterpret?
I am not religious. I'm a child of God. There are two different things.
Okay, there are two different things.
And that's why people can play church and think they can get away with it. Because if you are truly a child of God, there are things that would not sit right with you. You cannot afford, you cannot be comfortable dressing a certain way. You cannot be comfortable listening to some kind of music. You come to my home, I don't even have to tell you. People will ask
but
me,
in some churches, they dance some kind of music, they play some kind of music, they do some kind of dance steps that are worldly.
Not every church.
It's not a church. It's just a few.
No, I do want to clean my room.
It's not every churches.
Because somebody said that it's like most churches are contributing to the problems we have in our society today. That religion is a problem.
When you're saying religion,
when it comes to our mode of dressing, our mode of talking, our mode of relating to people, particularly this dress thing, the issue of sex, the issue of married women and all of that.
Even the worst person can change. It just it depends on how you go about chastening the person.
And everybody can change at the same time.
Exactly.
Everybody, you can't expect everybody to change at the same time. Today it might just be me. I'm now okay. I must tell you that there was a time, in fact, when I started going to I won't mention the name of the church. I was going in shorts, my tank top, my shorts. When I got there, I saw that people were not dressed like me, and I was a bit self-conscious, like
I'm different,
Yeah.
But when I noticed the way they were dressed, and I attended the foundation class, I started changing. I couldn't do without trousers and stuff, but when I joined in to be a worker, I realized that it's not even allowed for workers to be on trousers.
So as it stands now, you cannot wear trousers to church?
No, I can't.
I've seen some pastors wearing trousers.
It's there's no way I can be caught on trousers in church.
It depends on the
Can you wear
church.
trousers to church?
Yes, I do wear trousers to church.
To church, and it's not.
But like I said, I say no matter what you do, wear Holy Ghost filled trousers.
Yes, and they laugh about that.
Which one is Holy Ghost filled?
The Holy Ghost filled trouser is the type that is not figure hugging.
Okay.
and the shirt, the top you're wearing on it.
So, if you are that kind of lady who dresses like trash or who dressed like a piece of trash or a piece of rag and go to church, know today that you're making a huge mistake. If only you will take advice from this beautiful woman here and decide to dress like a princess that you're supposed to do. Put on the Holy Ghost trousers, tops, and all of that. Just look good and just good enough to present her before God. I'm sure you would get a lot of blessings. Thank you, ladies, for finding time to go with me.
Thank you for
I really
having
enjoyed
us.
my time out. So, we'll see you again next week.